Life isn't perfect, and neither are we.
Nope. But we know how to face our fears
And have some fun.
and talk about all the messiest things of life.
Like the messiest things.
Get connected to yourself, get connected to others, and get connected to the life right in front of you.
This is The Connected Life with Justin and Abby.
That's me.
That's you.
And you.
Welcome back to The Connected Life.
Woo!
With...
It's
with
me.
who?
It's me.
with
I
with
can't
me.
say my word. It's me and me.
It's me and me. With Justin and...
Abby.
That's
so cheesy.
That is pretty cheesy.
That's okay.
We probably just lost listeners.
Definitely.
Nobody wants to listen to that.
No. Mm-mm.
What's happening today?
Hey,
babe.
Hi, how are you?
What's up?
Okay. I have a funny story about you.
Oh, before we tell the funny story,
Okay.
we're going to let everybody know what they're in for today.
What are they in for today?
You're about to get into our beginnings of our love story. Whoa. Our first couple episodes are going to take you on a journey.
A journey
of
through
mystery
the heart.
and romance.
And you'll never know if we end up together or not.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. You'll have to tune in to see. So we're going to jump into some of our foundational story and give you a little bit about what we learned in that.
Yeah.
But before that, we're going to have a fun story.
Oh, are we?
I guess.
You think my microphone's wrong? Why are you adjusting my mic?
Yeah, because
I like my microphone.
You've
right
always
where
had a
it
war
is.
with your microphone whenever we use a microphone. With you. You're like
I'm
10 feet away from it, and then you're like right back up to it, screaming into it. The editing is so fun, the process.
Oh, you're so good at so many things.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
But you do good. I'm proud of you.
Okay, thanks.
Keep it
I
up.
have a story for you.
Okay.
It's actually a story about you.
Oh, it's a story for me about me.
Yeah. This morning, Justin came in to me and was like, I'm stealing your supplements. Why?
Because I like to be big and strong.
Big and strong and powerful. So you're going to be like Popeye.
Except for not Popeye and no spinach.
But like
bald. And taking something to make me better.
So you're going to take my supplements. And so I'm like, fine, do whatever you want. Take my supplements. I'll share. I'm a good sharer. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
You are.
Have those.
Yeah.
I walk out and I notice the bottle sitting on the counter and I think that's weird. Where did you get that from? Because I know where the supplement was that you were looking for. It was in my nightstand. And so
I did not get it out of her nightstand. I'll tell you that much.
No.
Nope.
And I never saw you go back there. So I was like, what happened? And
it looked exactly like the bottle I should have been getting.
The bottles are same company.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. But the bottle you used is called Woman's Formula.
Yeah. Woman's Balance.
Woman's Balance. And it is all about balancing women hormones.
Yeah. So today on the treadmill, I'm just running away.
And
I start lactating.
That's so crazy.
Why am I lactating?
Yeah. It's because you took hormone pills.
Yeah. That didn't happen. That was my sarcasm right there. No lactation happened.
It's less funny.
I'm okay, and it may have caused some phlegminess in my throat.
Yeah, I'm joking that it caused phlegm because your body's... he's been phlegmy this morning. He's been like... and I was like, oh, your body's reacting. It's allergic to the woman hormones.
Yep. But it's not. And
It's
I'm
not.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. So why are we... What? That was... You just want to let people know that...
That you're becoming a woman? That's part of the journey of what we're sharing on The Connected Life.
It's going to be a very interesting marriage going forward.
Yes, it is. No, I just thought it was funny and cute and that you're a selective reader. And you did tell me that you read it. I said, did you read to make sure?
I was like, yeah, I did. I think.
I was like, no.
My brain felt like it read what it wanted to read. That's what happened.
Yeah. Okay, well, should we jump into our story?
Yeah, let's do it. In the beginning, there was Justin and Abby.
And they did not know each other.
But they came to know each other one day.
In a Chipotle. Far, far away.
Far, far away in a Chipotle. We did meet each other in a Chipotle.
We did.
How'd we end up in that Chipotle?
Okay, so I had a best friend that you knew. We were both friends with her, but we had never met. Mm-hmm. And she dragged me along with her to a conference in a state far, far away. Uh-huh. And so I was there. And that's how I got there. How'd you get there?
Oh, well, at the time I was living in Alabama and I was traveling
with I love Alabama.
Alabama's a cesspool.
That sounds horrible. What do you mean?
I don't have fond memories of Alabama. I was living in Foley, Alabama at the time.
But what?
And I don't know if it was Foley. I don't know if it was the disgusting humidity. I don't know if it was the season of life that I was in.
It was probably those things because I just was at Alabama this week and I love it.
Did you love the state, the people,
all of it?
All of it?
Mm-hmm. I think if you gave it another shot, if it was you need to come with me now.
All right.
In a happy season of life.
All right. So I'm going to release my judgment from all the people in the city of Foley, Alabama, and I'm going to trust that it was just a bad time of life for me.
Bad time of life. That feels real.
So I was traveling, and I was a personal assistant to an itinerant speaker, traveling with him, living with him. He was like my best friend. It got really depressing real quick. I needed to be around people because I joke that he's like my first wife.
And thank God for him. He broke you in so many ways
He did.
that set you up to like me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really good
that makes him sound horrible. We actually love him. He's like family. He didn't break you because he's bad.
It's because he was different than me. Like you're different than me.
Totally.
And so all the things that you do and who you are and your personality type is him. And it was a really good setup for success.
Oh, you had to learn to compromise.
I had to learn how to not be controlling and be intense. And
you had to learn how to have fun and be around somebody who
I did. It was actually a really good gift.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was in Foley, Alabama. I had to get out of there.
You needed to get out.
I end up hearing my friends are up at this conference, so I decided to take off and go to this conference.
And so you came to visit, and
for
some reason we ended up at Chipotle. And our first conversation was
magical.
Was it really magical, or are you just saying that because you know?
It was actually incredible. I remember thinking, "Oh my gosh." She is so wonderfully sarcastic and bantery and engaging.
Yeah.
And I'm loving every minute of this. In fact,
and you started talking about this love journey that you were on, about learning what love looks like and what it means. And I was like, I'm on that journey too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So you're really excited about that. And in fact, I don't just remember the Chipotle. I also remember the coffee shop we went to.
Yeah, that was a different
standing
night.
in line. It was a different night, but I mean, it was very impactful being around you.
Yeah, I loved being around you. But to be honest, I was a little confused because I was not a boy crazy girl. Like I was really focused in my life about what I wanted and what I was going after.
She was like a Mother Teresa at that moment in her life.
I had broken up with a guy and I was like, I'm moving to Africa and taking a vow of celibacy. I'm going to take care of orphans forever.
Yeah. She was crazy.
It was like Mother Teresa syndrome. In my life, that was like a cool thing to do. And so I was really, really focused. But when I met you, it was literally like my world tilted.
Yeah. And I would say that was a little bit between hormones, pheromones, a really good choice of cologne.
Probably.
And charming good looks.
Definitely. I mean, I was so drawn to you. I have never been it felt like being magnetized.
Did it?
You're giving me love eyes.
I'm giving you love eyes. This is great hearing this.
Yeah. I
like
felt
a walking magnet.
You are. I felt like I couldn't unhook from you. I was like, who is he? I just need to be next to
tell him what you said. Tell everybody.
Okay.
If I could just be where?
If I could just be in his arms, everything would be okay.
It would, right?
If I could just make out with him, it'd be fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now listen, that sounds normal to lots of people, but that was not normal to me because I was so independent. I did not need guys.
Yeah.
I had like a traumatic kissing experience before that, so I was not excited about.
It was love at first sight.
It was love at first sight. But because I felt such strong emotions towards you and I'd never felt that before, I am a feeler. So I'm an
empath is another way of saying it.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say the schmaltzy term is empath. The slang term is feeler. And so I can very much feel people around me.
Maybe their emotions, their energy coming off.
Yeah, what's going on. So there had been several times, let's be honest, that I remember with one of my boyfriends, we were holding hands and all of a sudden these images started flashing through my mind of very sexual things. And I had never seen porn or done anything sexual at that point. And so I was like, these images I've never seen before. What are they from? And so then I was like, just got quiet. It was like, no, I'm not going to agree with these. And I just kind of centered myself and was like, no, I invite peace into this room and whatever. And then the boy I was looking at looked at me and he was like, did you see what just happened? And I was like, what? And he was like, my mind started thinking about all these thoughts that I shouldn't be thinking about. And then it was all of a sudden like peace just walked into the room and I felt convicted and I changed my thoughts. So I had learned.
That sounds like a weird story. So you're a mind
I'm
reader.
a hippie.
I'm
a hippie
mind
empath
reader,
feeler.
a psychic. Yeah.
Okay, but I have to explain this.
Yes.
Okay, so I've had lots of experiences like that where I did genuinely feel something from somebody else.
Right.
So when I met you and I felt so magnetized to you, I thought I must be feeling him. He must be a player. He must be like pulling me in, trying to hook me.
I've got you. I'm reeling you in with my mind bullets.
Yes, that's what I thought. And so I like told my best friend, I was like, oh, not him. He's a player.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. And we had the magical thing at the coffee
happen.
shop. We should share that one thing. We walked from the coffee shop back to the conference.
We did. This is a very interesting moment. So we're walking back to the conference and this guy pulls up in a car.
Yeah.
And I immediately felt like there was some history between the two of you or something. There wasn't even
Oh, now you're the empath.
Yeah.
Boom.
There wasn't even any real conversational exchange. I just immediately was like, no. She's mine.
Yeah,
I don't know why that emotion came up inside of me.
Like very possessive.
It's the alpha male
syndrome. But that's real. It was my ex-boyfriend. You had no idea.
No idea.
And it was a
None.
very weird conversation because both of you guys went to alpha male.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. In fact, I talked to him later after that and he said he knew that I was going to marry you from that moment.
Wow.
And he was a little pissed.
Wow, I was not sure that I was going to marry you.
No,
but
not me.
I was
thought
like
you were
I
a
was
player.
like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. Right there in that moment. I was marking my territory real quick. Back off, buddy.
Totally.
That was my emotion immediately.
Yeah. So then you ended up
Well, I ended up spending some time at the conference, and then while I was around you, I remember having this moment where I was like, huh, what about her? Like where something really started stirring inside of me where I was like,
obviously,
I'm
the best.
And so I go to our mutual friend at the time and I look at her and I'm like, hey, what would you think about Abby and I? And then I got the biggest stink eye on the face of the planet.
Oh yeah, because I told her he's for sure a player. I'm feeling him hooking me. He is pulling me
Mind
towards him.
bullets. Ah.
This is why you shouldn't actually judge people based on feelings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Side note.
So
for all of you empaths who are sure that you know what other people are thinking or feeling, you could be wrong.
Very wrong. Incredibly wrong. You were wrong about me. Say it.
I was wrong about you.
That's right. You were wrong. So anyways, here we go. Our mutual friend gives me this huge stink eye and was just like, And I'm like, oh my gosh, she either like really thinks that's a bad option for me or really hates the idea of me and her and Abby.
Totally.
So I just kind of like, all right, whatever. I go home. And at the time, this is going to date me.
It's going to date us both.
I go back to Alabama and I sit and I MySpace stalk her. I just scroll through all your pics.
And you messaged me.
I did.
Yeah. And I didn't respond because I was like, I will not be tempted. I will not be tempted. I will be Mother Teresa. It was a crazy, zealous season of my life.
Yeah. Very
zealous real
season
intense.
of your life. So at that point, I just kind of like bailed on it. I was like, all right, I'm going to let it go. Move on with life. I guess that's never going to happen.
And so you did. You moved on real fast.
I did move on.
You started dating somebody.
Yeah. Little blonde delight out of Los Angeles.
Weird way to describe somebody.
Weird way to describe my ex. Huh?
Yes, definitely. And I remember seeing you again on MySpace because I still was friends with you on MySpace. And every time a picture of you guys would come up, I would literally want to throw up. I was like,
that's very intense, Abby.
I know. I felt like this gross taste in my mouth where I was like, this is so wrong. This is so wrong. And it wasn't like I want to be with you. There was none of that because I thought you were a player. So there was no desire for me to be with you. But I was just like, that is obviously they are not right for each other. Yeah.
So you did want to be with me.
No, I could feel it.
So
I could empathically know you were not meant for her.
Yeah. Okay.
I was peeing on my fire hydrant.
Yeah, you were. Did you
No,
want to
I
send her
wasn't.
any messages?
No.
Did I get away? No.
No, I just thought you're
Did you
down
guys
for-
gripe a lot during that time with each other? You and our mutual friend about it? I mean, did you
We were like, ew, gross. That's so wrong. What are they doing? They're making bad decisions for their lives. Yeah.
That's so funny.
So then I went to my best friend's wedding. Now, me and my best friend, we'd been very close. I met her when I was 7. We're still really, really close. We're more like sister friends, and really like sister friends because we have fought hard and loved hard and worked through lots of
Stay
issues.
connected, yeah.
Yep. But so me and her both were both independent. I think our solid friendship is why I didn't need a guy early on. I could be much more like focused on what I was going after in life. And so me and her both started at the same time, started beginning to feel like a stirring, like, I think it's time for us to get married. And I had always kind of done this. I had kind of prayed like about going to sleep to love until it was the right time. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of started feeling like awakened, like it's time. Me and her both at the same time. So 2 years before we get together, I'd started feeling this. And so she ends up getting married and I'm sitting there being like, what the heck? We both got the same feeling at the same time and she's married and I'm single.
Yeah.
I'm completely single. And
to all you single ladies out there, there's hope when you're at that wedding.
Yep. Yeah. Right.
And you're going like, but what about me?
But what about me? And I actually felt like
and maybe you one day.
Maybe you. Yeah. I felt on the inside like, no, it's your turn now. And I was like, okay. I mean, you never really know especially in love, I never really fully listened to my intuitions because sometimes they're just what you really want to be true. But I felt like, okay, it's my turn. But I knew I was ripe. That's what I call it. I was ripe for love. Yeah. And I had watched a lot of my friends go through that season.
It's a weird way to describe it.
I know, but it's like fruit. When it's ripe, it just wants to fall off the tree.
Now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has to happen now. I'd watched all my friends when they got ripe make horrible men choices. Because it's almost like there's this season where I'm ready for this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
where
song
your body biologically is screaming it's time to go make babies.
Totally. Yes.
Just give me a man right now.
Yes. Well, there's this India Ari song that says I'm ready for love. And it's the song about being ready for love. And I was like, I'm ready for love. I was, every day listening to it, trying to get the universe to agree. But so what I did was I was like, I'm going to call my ex-boyfriend. I am ripe. This is the time. I am sure he will want
the way you describe it makes me laugh
marry
so hard.
I'm sure he'll want to marry me still. I'll call him. And I just felt this.
That would have been a funny phone call. Hey, I'm ripe. What? I'm friggin' ripe.
Come pick me.
Yeah, I want to be married. Let's do this.
I'm ready to be picked.
I'm ripe.
So I just felt this hesitancy on the inside that was like, just wait 1 week. Just wait.
Just one week.
And so I was like, okay, I will wait a week. So I flew the day after her wedding to LA for another wedding that I was in.
Which, by the way, I just so happened. Now, I'd been living in Alabama, and we made a transition. I originally lived in LA, went to film school, worked a little bit in the entertainment industry, moved to Alabama. All of a sudden, after being 7 months in Alabama, it's our whole group of people that were working together decided we wanted to make a transition back to LA. So I'm back in LA doing my thing, and I've been working pretty hard and found that I needed a break. And my sister just so happened to decide she wanted to come out and visit me. So I was like, hey, I'm going to take a week break, hang out with my sister, do some fun things, go to the beach, whatever.
And your sister has great timing.
Really great timing.
Because that's the only reason that we hung out is my friend, one of my best friends had to work in LA. And so she couldn't hang out during the day.
So you had nothing better to do is what you're saying.
That is legitimately true.
That's legitimately true.
Nothing better to do.
Now, the timing on this, just by the way, I'm going to back up.
Real interesting.
I just so happened to be on a break with my girlfriend at the time.
A break.
Mm-hmm. A legitimate break. We needed to figure some stuff out. So I was taking a breather.
So it was really the best time because Katie was there. So it wasn't like we were dating or hanging out.
No.
We weren't. And that's actually something we ended up hanging out.
And we weren't getting frisky or nothing.
No.
It was very casual.
It was one of the things that I felt most drawn to you for is you had very good boundaries, even though you were on a break with her.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not going to be having any types of conversations that are engage someone when I don't know what's going on over here. That didn't feel honorable, respectful.
Which is something I was looking for. I was looking for a guy who had self-control.
Yeah.
Because if you can see a guy who has self-control now, you'll see that in the rest of your life. And that's a highly valuable quality.
Yeah. So at that point in time, all of a sudden we have this destiny moment of hanging out for a week and just being friends.
Oh, it was a little bit of magic. Within the first 5 minutes of us talking at Sean's house, within the first 5 minutes of us talking, all these people started asking us, like, "Oh, is that your girl?" Like they thought I was your girlfriend. Mm-hmm. People who didn't know us because we had such good chemistry.
That's pretty awesome, huh?
We had good chemistry.
In the very beginning.
But there was a lot of walls up, boundaries. But I will say this:
because you were an ice queen.
No, I mean there was because you.
Oh no, there were healthy boundaries. Also, you're a little bit of an ice queen.
I was an ice queen. We'll talk about that later. But one boundary you did not have that I'm going to out you for.
Oh, okay. What was that boundary I didn't have?
Well, we were at your house, and there's lots of people there because there's lots of gatherings of people there, and all of a sudden you wrestled me to the ground and you farted on me. That was one boundary you
that wasn't
not
in
have.
The first week of being around each other.
Yeah.
That week there, was it?
Yep, you farted on me.
I mean, I knew I wrestled
I'm
you
pretty
down
sure,
and farted on you. I thought that was during a different trip.
No, I'm pretty sure that was in the first week because I was like, who's this guy? There was nothing romantic. You just literally came and sat and farted on me.
Well, could that have been misconstrued for a romance? I doubt it. Of course, there was nothing romantic about that. I think probably what I did.
No, it was the first week because I was like, who's this guy?
Yeah. And by the way, let me back up. First off, I think I thought, if this is going to be a girl that's in my world that's a friend, I'm going to need a reason. Like, I'm not going to want to feel on edge, and she's just going to have to deal with my type of humor. So I'm just going to pull the trigger and fart on her.
If she can handle this, she's okay.
Which at, 22? That's logical.
Logical. Totally logical. What you didn't know is that I didn't know this. With a family. I didn't actually even remember this until like 5 years into marriage, but I grew up with a family with 5 boys, and they are all like my brothers, and they are incredible and loving.
Your best friend's brothers, her whole family.
Yeah, my best friend's whole family is like my family.
Yeah.
And so they were very protective. Every time I brought a guy over, they're like, he's not good enough. And they made funny nicknames for all of them.
Yeah. I wonder what my funny nickname was. I bet there was a lot said behind my back. I mean, you didn't talk about me a lot to them, I don't think.
I'm sure they have a nickname.
I bet. I'm going to have to ask them.
Nerd, maybe?
No. I bet they're a lot meaner than that when they
we'll find out.
About me. Yeah.
But anyway, so he was, one of the younger brothers was 16 when I was dating. And every time I'd bring a guy around, he'd be like, does he fart on you? Now, at that time, he used to wrestle me to the ground and fart on me all the time. That was like his thing. That's
like good brother-sister love right
there. Yeah,
there.
that's how you know you're part of the family is if they fart on you.
Farted on.
And so every time I brought a guy over, he's like, well, does he fart on you? And I was like, no, ew, gross, Josh, no. Disgusting. And he's like, well, I pray every night that we'll know it's your husband because he will fart on you and take over my job so that when you get married, there'll still be somebody doing this. And I was like, that's the worst prayer ever.
And you know what?
But it came true.
Yeah, prayer fulfilled.
Prayers get answers.
Still
be careful.
Do it to this day.
Still do it. Yep. You did not give that up. And what's funny
Welcome
is now
to the Dutch oven.
Now he is actually grossed out by farting on people, which is the irony. He
doesn't
do it anymore.
No. I do Dutch oven you sometimes.
No, I'm saying Josh doesn't anymore.
Oh.
You still fart all the time.
Oh, I mean, less. At 36, it's less than when you're 22.
I don't know.
You grow up a little bit, not a lot. Anyways, so I farted on you. What's the point of that?
Nah, it's just
you
part
just want to tell on me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, great. So, hey, ladies out there, if you're looking for romance, you're looking for a guy to fart on you.
This is really good information for you single people.
Yeah, take notes.
Men, probably don't listen to this.
Don't listen to a word I say. I'm lucky I even landed this girl.
Do not fart on any girls that you are dating.
That's not the way to win their heart.
Nope.
I got lucky.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just stay friends. You make it very clear that we're just friends. I go back to Colorado. We continue talking on the phone. You break up with the girl.
Yeah.
And we keep staying in contact. It was that magic person where it felt like I had known you
forever. And you know what? I remember this moment in friendship before you moved out to LA, and we had continually been stewarding connection every day. And it just felt like you said, it was like my best friend that I knew my entire life. And it just felt right.
Yeah. It felt like my soul's known you. I just haven't met you yet.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like, to put it in fluffy language.
I know. I like fluff.
Fluff. Anyways, I remember at one point, this is, I think, right before you decided to move out to LA. Mm-hmm. I'm on the phone with you and you go, I don't know if I can marry you yet. I was like, that is a weird jump from we're just hanging out talking to all of a sudden, you don't know if you can marry me yet.
Well,
what provoked that?
I grew up in a
Were you having some weird hormone moment?
I grew up in a very religious culture, and I had read this book growing up called I Kissed Dating Goodbye.
Oh, that destroyed so many people's lives.
It did. He actually, I feel really proud of him.
Came out and apologized for that.
He came out and apologized. He was like
ownership.
18 when he wrote the book or something.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, I destroyed people's lives.
And he felt really bad.
Don't listen to me.
Lots of respect for him. But it did affect me deeply because it was like, you have to know the person is the one to date them, which makes it very complicated.
Yeah.
Because dating is not supposed to be that high stakes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a natural progression of connection and discovering something about yourself and another person. It doesn't have to be high stakes.
And so that's what had happened is I was like trying to figure out, well, do I like you enough that I could marry you? Are you the one? Are you not the one? Are you the one? Are you not the one? You should not be able to tell if someone is the one before you know them.
Which, by the way, this is the for all you guys out there listening, this is the insides of most crazy girls' brains. All of them. They're just like, they're walking down the aisle 2 seconds after meeting you, wondering if that works.
Not all girls are like that.
No, not all girls. That was a generalization.
Yeah.
But they do.
But I was trying to figure it out. Lots of girls are like that.
Do
but
jump down that, and they're trying to figure out if it plays out.
They're less like that.
Maybe they are.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of our older generation.
Yeah. So I was like, I felt this prompting from the inside where I was like, I actually think I'm supposed to just learn about love with Justin.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to conditional love is I'll only learn on this journey with you if we end up in marriage.
Yeah.
Like, I'll only go on a process with you if it leads to marriage. And I felt this prompting of like unconditional love would be, can I love you well and receive love from you well and go on a journey with you in order to find out if we could get married instead of because I know we're getting married.
Yeah. And what's interesting is I didn't know that she had kind of that concept inside of her head. And
so you were shocked.
Yeah. I was shocked when I found that out. But I literally had verbatim almost the same thing. I was like, I want to learn, because I'd already been on a journey for a couple of years of learning what a loving looked like, loving yourself, loving people, what unconditional love meant. And I really said inside of my soul, I was like, I want to learn how to love her unconditionally. And that's okay. Like, this isn't like loving. I just want to love another human being. We may not date. We may not get married. Nothing may happen. Like, how can I take care of this person with a pure heart and no alternate intentions?
Yeah.
So,
but what did you feel when I told you that?
Well, I mean, shocked, amazed.
Amazed.
I don't know. I don't remember. Was there something I said that I felt?
Yes.
What did I say?
You always are like, and then I was like, woo, she's thinking about marriage. I'm at least in the dating category.
Oh, no. You're back in the marriage conversation.
Yeah.
I thought, what did I say when you told me that you also thought about just loving someone unconditionally?
No.
Oh, no. Yeah, when she said that, I mean, a little part of me lit up because I'm like, oh, she's further along than I thought she was, and maybe there is something there.
Yeah. So then I moved out to LA, which is where you lived, and I had planned on doing that. It also
felt good as a man to just be like, oh, I got her.
When I was literally saying you don't have me yet.
Yeah, but it was saying I had you. And you were fighting against it. My mind bullets. You were fighting against my mind bullets.
Of love.
They're wearing you down and working. So anyways, you moved out to LA.
I moved out to LA and we're friends. And I like to say we faded.
Yes, we talk about fading, which is what we call fake dating.
Yeah.
So we had this deep, intimate connection at some level where we're sharing a lot of our pain and our stories. Sometimes we cried together.
We laughed together. We make jokes.
We weren't like physically, we weren't in any type of physical relationship. There was no sexual relationship going on in this space. It was just.
But we were emotionally dating.
But we were emotionally dating, and that was the thing. And I could feel it. I'm like, this is like dating, but I don't feel permission in my soul to go ahead and jump into a dating process. So I kept bringing it up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 3 different times. I always joke, 3 different times you broke up with me and we never dated.
It's real.
Because that's what happened. And here's the thing. I would feel on the inside like, oh, our boundaries aren't right. And I'm very intuitive led.
Yeah.
My whole life I've been. And so I was really concerned, like, am I going to marry somebody that I trust can hear as good as I can? That knows what's happening as much as me. And so I would feel like this is not right. We need to
because a lot of times,
boundaries.
let me back up. A lot of times guys in the past were interacting with you in ways where they wanted something you didn't want, and you were never on the same page, and you felt like you had to be the one that was like, no, this isn't it. This isn't the right timing. So
yeah, every guy I had dated wanted to marry me instantly.
Yeah, which I didn't.
Except for the first guy who refused and did not want to marry me at all. And I hung on way too long to that.
Him, thank you.
Yes. But every guy was like, they wanted to marry me. And I would be like, do you have any concerns about marrying me?
Which for every girl, no girl wants a guy to immediately want to marry her.
Well, lots of girls think they want that.
But they don't, because they actually want a guy who knows them.
Yeah,
and you don't feel known by a guy who immediately is like, you're the perfect person. No, totally. I'm not. I'm massively flawed because I'm a human being in general.
Right.
And I want you to actually choose me in the midst of my mess.
Well, and that's what my thing was, is I would ask them like, well, what concerns do you have about possibly marrying
no
me?
concern. You're the best.
Yeah. And I would be like, no, we're not, you don't like me. You like the idea you have in your mind of me. And I am not that.
And let me be clear. I had tons of concerns.
You were pretty clear about that the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah. And so we were, you broke up with me 3 times, but it was actually a pretty magical experience. Every time you broke up with me, it bonded me to you, because I would have thought,
I was playing hard to get.
Well, yeah. I had actually prayed, I need a guy who likes me, but not too much. And so you were the first guy who not only didn't date me, but then broke up with me multiple times.
Right. So I kept coming back saying, hey,
we need to reestablish boundaries. It wasn't actually breaking up.
Yeah, totally.
But every time you did, I'll let you talk again, but I just wanted to share this.
Okay.
I'm so excited. But so, it was because I had already felt like we need to reestablish boundaries. And then I felt this thing of like, no, just wait. And then all of a sudden you would say, I feel like we need to reestablish boundaries. And I was learning that I could follow you.
Yeah.
I was learning that you were a good leader, that you were in tune with wisdom, that you were in tune with yourself, and that you didn't let your emotions lead more than wisdom.
And I want to pause right there. Can I?
Yeah.
To add something into this. I personally believe, and in our relationship, we believe that the man is supposed to be the leader of the house. And that sends people spiraling, especially in this day and age. And leadership doesn't look like posturing yourself as a dominator who makes the final decisions.
No.
To me, the role of leadership is actually a responsibility inside of my world to lead with kindness and gentleness and patience, to lead with vulnerability, to lead with asking good questions, to lead with opening up dialogues and facing fears. Like, it's taking a posture of being proactive. Like, as a man, my role is to be proactive with my life, with my relationship, and bringing stuff to the table.
Yep.
Instead of running. And so for a lot of men, because of our culture, they've lost an ability to lead. They don't know what leadership looks like. There's broken views of leadership. We're scared of leadership because we think like, part of my leadership role is me inviting your voice out.
Yeah.
It's me being like, babe, what do you think about this? Do you want to be involved? What's your wisdom on it? Help me navigate this.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what leadership looks like to us. So all of a sudden she's going, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is someone I can actually trust.
To lead well.
Yeah. So.
And I mean, I grew up in a household where there was no trust or respect either way.
Right.
So I was highly independent from that. And I needed to go on the process where I could trust that you had my best intentions.
Yeah. I wasn't out to control.
Nope.
And I wasn't out for my selfish own motivations.
Which I think every time you reestablish boundaries, that's what I thought. Okay, he cares more about protecting my heart than he does about getting his needs met unhealthily. And that was attractive to me.
Yep. And whether it was emotionally or physically, everything was about protecting your heart instead of just getting some sort of
instant payoff,
instant gratification that I thought that I needed. And a lot of people approach love under the context of, oh, I can't be without you. I love you this much that I can't be without you, that I'm going to suffocate you. And it's like these emotional death grip hands around another person's neck.
Totally.
And it's like saying, I know what's best for you. It's me. But it's not. That's not real love.
No.
So to me, every time I reestablished a boundary or something, it was me looking and going, oh, you know what? We're getting so close that that's actually causing something inside of her to feel off kilter. Because every time we get this close, but we can't actually date, there's like a level of commitment that we're not actually committed to. And then it's causing misunderstanding, confusion, heartache potentially.
Yeah.
And to honor and respect her, if I can't go to a process of a committed dating relationship, then I shouldn't be crossing these boundaries of conversation. I need to reestablish things.
Yeah.
And
that was the truth. You're like, I
to
can't
me.
commit to this level yet, so we shouldn't emotionally be at this level. And that's wisdom.
Yeah. So what ends up happening, Abby?
So then you break up with me. For real.
I for real broke up with
like
her.
Hardcore.
Hardcore broke up, not
never,
dating,
ever,
but
ever.
broke up.
Say what you said.
Okay, so I come to Abby, and this is the big kicker on everything. I come to her and I say, look, here's the deal. You and I are not going to date. We're never going to be together. We're never going to be married. I need you to understand this.
It's such a huge statement.
By
you were
which,
wrong.
I was so wrong. Oh my God. But here's the thing. There was a lot of thoughts and put behind it, but that she didn't know. But let's take a second, and why don't you share how that affected you?
Oh my gosh, I was devastated. I literally went into mourning. I wore black all week. I wept. I was so sad. I was in the pits of, what's funny is
you got broke up with and you weren't even dating.
Totally. But at that point for sure, you had beat the guy in my head at that point.
Oh, the guy, the ideal guy in your head, I was better than him. Is what you're saying?
Even though I had a lot of concerns about you and there were some things I wasn't sure about, but you'd beat that guy and I had thought we're going to get married. This is it. And so when you said that, it was devastating, but not only devastating, the way you said it made me think that I had never been an option for you. That you were never considering me towards marriage.
I was cold and callous and it was just.
Yeah, that you were just playing me.
You were sister.
I thought
you were just my sister.
Yeah, I thought for sure you've been playing me
the entire time.
Yeah. You have set boundaries, but really you always knew I wasn't. And so you should have just been straightforward with me. So I felt rejected and devastated.
And then she went and destroyed my name to all the girls in her household that she lived with.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought you were being a little player.
And they all hated me.
They did all hate you because I didn't understand. And that's, every relationship, every single dating relationship has messiness in it.
I feel like one of them had to have created a voodoo doll and was just poking it daily. They were so angry at me. And every time I saw them, it was like
death stares.
Yeah, hate eyes from all of them, and they're noses up at me.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry, but this is what relationships are. They're messy because your hearts get triggered and your filters come up, and you make tons of assumptions, and communication is rough.
All over the place. And this is a big key. Early on in life, we didn't know how to communicate.
Nope. We had a lot of miscommunications.
And that's one of the biggest problems in any relationships that keep people disconnected from each other is our lack of understanding how we communicate, how others communicate, and learning how to do that dance, learning how to seek to understand, ask questions. None of that was on the table in our early 20s.
No.
So it's just assumption world, and we're vilifying each other. You were making a villain out of me. I made you a villain,
yeah. But I did feel this. There's this chapter in the Bible that talks about love, what love is. It's the famous one that everybody quotes at weddings. And it says in that love always trusts. Yeah. And I just felt that ring out inside of me. Yeah. And I was like, if I want to honor and love him, if he says this will never happen, then I need to kill it.
And I'm going to go here.
I'm going to kill it in my heart. So every time I imagined a future with you, I literally shut that imagination down. Yeah. I was like, no, I'm not marrying him. He said never, ever. So it's a never, ever. And I really did believe, I believe in resurrection life. So I'm like, if I kill it, it can be revived.
It could be revived. But
or I will get someone better than you. That's kind of.
Could you really though? Really?
Well, it's debatable.
Do you see this?
Now the property value has gone up so high.
The property value has gone up.
There's no way
You'll
I could
never
get somebody.
find anyone better than me.
Never.
You might as well just stay with me
forever.
Yeah.
But back then I was for sure hey, I'm either going to get someone better because I believe in living out of trust and not poverty. So poverty mentality makes people do crazy things in singleness.
I'm
never going to get anyone else.
No, I'll just be with this person.
I don't even like you, but you're better than not having somebody, and there's not going to be anyone better than this. This is good enough.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no, I can peacefully let you go.
Yeah.
I can kill this in my heart so that I can be in a healthy relationship with you and not hold on to it and not be that crazy like person that's
crazy
fantasizing
stalker
about
girl?
a year later who's like, I still love you.
Why doesn't he love me? Why won't he choose me?
Yeah. I was like, I'm not going to do that.
So ladies out there, if you actually have trust inside of your heart, and you actually believe that you're worthy of good gifts, you don't have to be crazy stalker girl.
Well, this is what I tell people. People actually think like I have to hold on for it to happen.
Yeah.
It's like this weird.
It's weird desperation.
But people literally think if I let go of it, then I will lose the thing I'm supposed to have.
But actually, it's just suffocating the thing that you want to have, and it repels it anyways.
100%.
Little nugget of wisdom right there.
Yeah. So there's literally no problems in killing it because things can be resurrected.
Yeah,
But holding on to somebody for months who doesn't want to date you is dumb.
It's totally real.
Don't do it.
Yeah, and it does a disservice
Just
to
don't
your
do
own
it.
heart and your mind, and sets up a whole host of belief systems that reinforces that you're not lovable and good things don't come to you. So
Totally.
Don't do it. Just stop it.
Yes.
Men and women alike.
So you broke up with me, and that's kind of where we're going to end it.
We're not. We are going to, but I want to say something.
Oh.
Do we want to tell them the secret why I broke up with her? Or do we want to leave it till the next one? You know, I'm going to do it. What the heck?
We're living like crazy people.
Yeah. Out of control over here. So there was this thing that went on inside of my heart, and that I could see that Abby was on a journey of femininity that was going to be stunted if I continued to be in that space inside of her heart. I could see that she was relying on me in ways that she didn't need to be, that she couldn't fully see who she was and couldn't get her feet under her as far as her strength as a woman. And I looked into this scenario and I went, you know what? If I actually love her, I want the best for her, not the best for me. Swoon.
Aww.
And I remember making this decision. I'm like, the best gift that I can give her is the gift of her womanhood, her finding out the strength of that. And the truth is that if she comes into this marriage thinking that I'm the bigger, more powerful, or not marriage, but relationship, thinking I'm the bigger, more powerful person, or I stay in this space, she's going to be looking to me, and I'm going to become bitter and resentful towards her anyways. And she's going to become bitter and resentful towards me because she's not going to be authentically who she's made to be.
Yeah.
And so inside of it, I remember this moment of seeing the writing on the wall, the wisdom of it all. And I was like, I know that if I tell her we're just not going to date, that we'll keep fading.
Yeah. Fading over the line of dating, dating.
It'll be in the background of her head of, but one day we're going to get married. But one
day we'll get together.
Yeah.
Not now, but one day.
And so it wouldn't allow her to just break free and become who she's made to be.
Yeah.
So in this moment, I remember when I was like, I have to break up with her. I have to make sure it's solidified. There's no question about it to save her as far as for what she needs to be doing. And I remember just crying. I was crying because I was having to bury it, literally throw it in the ground and put a tombstone over the top of it.
So there's this thing that you wanted, and in order to set me up for success, you said no to it.
I said no to it. And that's what love looks like. And I hope that in this episode of hearing the first part of our story, as you look at it overall, I hope that it readjusts your view of what loves look like. Love is actually self-sacrificing. And it goes, I want the best for you more than I do for me. And I've seen so many couples come into my office where what they called love was about them. And it wasn't about seeing the other person become the best version of themselves that they could be.
Yeah.
So my choice wasn't self-deprecating of I'm not enough.
No.
It was, no, she needs something different.
And that's true because you had been such a huge part of my femininity journey. When I met Justin, he called out things no one had ever said to me before. You're a beautiful woman. You're powerful. You're magnetic. You're delightful. This is who you are. He would tell me who I was, and I didn't believe him. And so it was this phenomenal journey that my soul went on of becoming more of who I was made to because somebody was seeing that I had the potential for that. Yeah. And so it was, I think you were brought into my life to actually empower me and give
activate.
me vision and activate me. But then you couldn't be the person that journey depended on
And
forever.
just because there's chemistry between two people doesn't mean it has to end in marriage.
Yeah. And I remember feeling that way, even though I mourned deeply. I did remember feeling the whole time because we had so honored each other in dating. And I try to tell this to people all the time. You can date well and you can end where you're sad because you're grief, but there's not pain and rejection and shame, and there's not damage. Like, you didn't damage me at all.
No.
In fact, you broke up with me before we would start damaging each other.
Yeah, because I was in relationship with wisdom. And I'm not saying I'm oh so wise. It's this part of my story of like, from a young age, I kept asking, what does wisdom look like? I want to know wisdom. I want to be someone who's intimately close with wisdom when I view life decisions. It doesn't mean I always make the wisest decisions. It's that I'm seeking to understand wisdom.
Yeah.
So that was a strong value for me inside of that. And so to people who are even listening, as you're going on the singleness journey or life journey, like, let wisdom
or marriage journey, wherever you're at.
Wherever you're at and stuff.
Everybody needs wisdom.
Let wisdom be your best friend. And wisdom is going to transcend normal human logic. Like, normal human logic would have been more selfish and ego-centered, and it would have said, well, don't let her go. You guys have a good thing. There's chemistry here.
Yeah.
You guys have done so much for each other and been so much to each other.
You've helped each other so much. You've grown so much.
Why would you just let go of this? So human logic would say that. But wisdom is also founded in love, unconditional love, a love that transcends what we normally call love as humans.
And you were right. You breaking up with me was one of the best things that ever happened to me.
You're welcome.
I wouldn't have said that back then. In
No.
the middle of it,
No.
It was extremely painful.
And sadly, back then, I didn't have the words to communicate
Nope.
and that what my purpose was. But here's the deal.
You never would have been able. You didn't have any of those words.
Nope.
Nope.
I just knew what was going on in my head, and I need to follow it.
Yep.
But I want to say this. Anything else that you can take from this story is the idea of grace.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it all perfect.
No way.
I flubbed big time. And we're going to talk in the next episode about more big flubs.
Yeah.
And some of that journey and how everything got reactivated. But you have to walk away understanding that we are perfectly imperfect as human beings. Mm-hmm. And that in the midst of our messes, if our heart is submitted to a higher power, like for me, I was always submitted to this unconditionally loving creator where I was like, God, here I am. Like, I just want to hear your heart for me. And because I had a heart posture that was teachable, moldable, I tried to operate in humility, just listening and not feeling like I had to have it all right. In that posture, there was ample amounts of grace to make up for all my shortcomings, my lack of communication.
And that's actually one of the things I tell people, because I give lots of advice. I consult with lots of single people or people who are in dating relationships, and they are always so concerned that they're going to make a mistake that will ruin it. And I'm like, if it ruins it with the other person, they're not a good fit for you. Because I would say me and you were very dysfunctional in how we got together, and lots of ups and downs in our stories. And I actually don't ever even think our story is one that anybody should follow.
No,
like
I would literally tell most people if they came into my office and threw their butts down across from me, I'd be like, do not marry this other person.
Totally.
You guys are in Crazyville.
Oh yeah, we did. And we didn't do relationship the right way. What I felt though was this grace that, like, because we fit together in a way that made room, even though we both had dysfunctions, my dysfunctions and your dysfunctions could fit together.
Yeah, it's really true. So
they would have killed each other if we didn't actually deal with them. But originally we were able to get through it.
So as we wrap this up today, we want to say thank you all for joining us. You're going to hear part 2 of what happened, how we actually rejoined and ended up.
Did we get married? We were going to leave them on a cliffhanger. What happened?
Yeah, what did happen? I don't know.
Justin broke up with Abby.
Oh, we'll see.
You can find out if we get together or not.
So much mystery. And as we sign off, we want to say this. If you've enjoyed anything you've heard here today and you want to continue to go on this journey with us, all we ask is that you jump on iTunes and hit subscribe, and you write a review, because that's really huge to creating opportunities for people to connect further to what we're doing here. And you can get on to facebook.com/the Connected Life Podcast and you can subscribe there and start watching for all of our updates on our upcoming episodes and maybe conversations that we might have there.
And on our Instagram, we'll be making posts about.
Oh yeah, Abby Stumval.
And probably Justin Stumval.
Probably Justin Stumval. Or not. We'll see how I do with Instagram. I'm an old man with all that.
Yeah, you are.
All right. Love y'all. Glad you joined us.
Peace out.
Go get connected. Do we have... Hey, wait. No, stop.
Oh.
Stop. Do you have any homework for them? People like homework.
Oh, not for just a love story.
Okay. Hey, we're going to have homework in the future.
Yes, we will.
We're going to get on because we're going to start provoking you to go on a journey.
Oh, you know what they could do is, what is one way that
See,
you
here it came. I knew it. And just give her enough time.
Try to love somebody in a sacrificial way one time this week.
Yeah.
It could be something as little as like when you're in a fight, you take ownership first. Or when you don't want to go visit your friend who's sick, you go get them soup anyway.
Happily, not because you feel like you have to, but you're like, no, I want to love this person.
Just find one way to sacrifice in love.
And if you don't know what that looks like, it's a conversation starter now for you to start asking the internal question, what does sacrificial love look like?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.